Well, even that was a train wreck. But anyway, welcome everybody to Weekly Wrap Up. This is Brandon. and there's our moderator Fable, who will be helping us out with the giveaway tonight. As you guys know, there is a giveaway, and we will be joined by Becky and Michael, who are backstage. If you guys do want to be entered into the giveaway, just comment hashtag Wonder Woman, and you will be entered into the live show. Once again, you will be entered into the live giveaway. Sorry, this is the live show, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You catch us every week where we talk about new comic books. We give our breakdowns, our reviews, our discussions of most things that we read over the past week. And if you guys do have a comment of anything that we did read as we're talking about it, feel free to comment down below. If you have a question for us, let us know your questions as well. Okay, this is much better. I'm not lagging at all. But thank you guys.
We had some technical difficulties beforehand, but we think we got them.
Oh my gosh. So technical difficulties were, yeah. Technical difficulties were an understatement. I was hit by like a monsoon on my computer. I don't know what happened. But make sure you guys do comment hashtag Wonder Woman, and Fable will enter you guys into the wheel we will bring out at the end of the show. Make sure you guys are reading Wonder Woman, because it is probably the best starting point for Wonder Woman, new Wonder Woman readers. And I know I did just have Phil Jimenez on the show yesterday, but this run is definitely better off to start at than his, which is kind of a huge compliment. And I could see Michael in the green room just staring at me right now. But thank you guys. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Remember, you do have to be present at the end of the video in order to be entered, or in order to win, because we have 3 of them. We have 3 books for you guys. 3 books. All right. Let's get right into them. Let's talk about comics. Yeah, that's why we're here. Bryce, start us off.
Okay, so
you read a book.
I did, and I'm gonna start out with an indie book. One of my favorite books going on right now, and that is Radiant Black. You guys know I talk about Radiant Black pretty much every time it comes out, whether it's in the lineup or not. I always make sure to mention it. So it's by Kyle Higgins, and Marcelo Costa is the normal artist, but we also have Eduardo Ferragato doing some of the art as well. And if you guys remember last issue, Nathan Station, Travis. Nathan seemingly died. And so that was huge, given the fact that he's been built up to be this hero the entire time, while his best friend Marshall has kind of been a main side character that they've been developing a little bit, and now we see why. And so this issue is basically Marshall coming into his own. He's on a vengeance path right now, where he is going to kill the guy that dude, it's a phenomenal book. It's honestly one of my favorite books coming out right now, and some of the most fun I'm having with superhero books right now. And so Marshall is just he's on a vengeance path. That's pretty much the entire issue, is him really getting connected to the alien symbiote of sorts. I mean,
symbiote? Good wording. Good, nice wording.
Yeah, especially given what, like, it's sort of like a Power Ranger suit, but it's a black hole, and it has like a symbiotic type bond. I don't know. It's weird. But basically we find out, 1, that Nathan actually isn't dead, and 2, that they've got bigger problems to worry about. So basically they're fighting, and towards the end it basically turns into full-on Power Rangers.
Okay, so do they pull out the theme song too? You know,
No, but there's a yellow.
Okay, so that looks like Power Ranger coloring. And I've never read it, but I'm like, that's Power Rangers right there in a nutshell.
But honestly, if this is how you're going to tell it, I'm fine with it. But it ends with the big threat that they've been warned about this entire time, and it's setting up the final issue of the first arc, which is really shaping up to be something special. This is a book. I keep telling Brandon he doesn't want to buy the singles, because I guess it's another book he doesn't want on his pole.
No, it's Kyle Higgins was not nice to me at a con, and I won't support him.
But
he was not nice to me.
I tell him to get the trade, because the trade it's a good way to get a good story while supporting the publisher. And honestly, if you guys aren't reading Radiant Black, the trade comes out in August, and it is $16.99. It's not like your normal Image Volume 1s that are $10, but it's worth it.
There you go.
Worth it.
There you go. Yeah, that is a book that I know a lot of people are enjoying. Maybe I'll read it in trade if it sums up to be that good at the end of its arc. I want to talk about a book that I actually had the pleasure of re-meeting the creator of on Wednesday. I met Tom King a lot recently, and he just came out with a Supergirl book with art by Bilquis Evely. This is Woman of Tomorrow. So if you guys read Superman Up in the Sky, this is very much like that. This is Tom King finally writing back in continuity. Now, if you have not been reading Tom King over the past few years, maybe it's because you're trade waiting Strange Adventures, which you shouldn't because it's a great book. So do as I say, not as I do. And if you're not liking what they're doing with the Watchmen universe, you're obviously not reading what Tom King is doing right now. And if you didn't like his Batman book, you're not reading Bat and Cat, but you should be reading Bat and Cat. But Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow is supposed to remind you why Supergirl is great. This is canon, so this is Tom King writing in continuity for the first time in 2 years, and he's back writing in captions, which means like not so much of his Steranko style that he did in Batman and his Batman run, or like he did kind of in Mr. Miracle with like the kind of like the sidebars, but he's writing in like captions. He's writing in blocks where it's like it's telling the tale, it's world building, and it's really good. Bilquis Evely's art is honestly phenomenal. We start out with this new girl, this new girl, and as she is kind of like a Conan type character, except she's really ignorant. She's really ignorant, and she's really I don't want to say uneducated, but she's learning because she is a young girl, and her father was killed by this guy named Krem, and her mission is to stop him. Now she goes into this bar to seek a bounty hunter, to seek somebody, and she gets attacked. But Supergirl is there to kind of avenge, and it's her birthday. It's her 21st birthday. So this is kind of humanizing Supergirl in a way because she's hungover, and she gets hungover, and she wakes up the next morning with this girl. Her name is like Rod or Ryan, Rin, something like that. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. That's something I probably should have asked Tom when I met him, who will be on the show. So we can talk about that. He will be on the show soon. We just got to work out a date. Other than that, you know, we're seeing her not really wanting to go out and kill this guy, not really going out to kill this guy Krem, but we're seeing Crypto in there, but we're really pushed over the edge is when she goes to her ship. Krem decides to shoot with an arrow and then shoot Crypto with an arrow, and that's like what's setting her off of it. Tom King's writing in this is really good. It's really constructive, and it's very much in tune to Supergirl. And this is a character that has not sold in like over 30 years. I don't remember ever a Supergirl book saying, hey, she sold. I think the biggest selling issue was the one where she died in Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah, even when her CW show was hot.
Her name is Ruth.
I don't remember them selling.
Right. At all. Right. So this is actually in continuity. This is where Supergirl is in Infinite Frontier. Okay. But it's not going to have like those crossovers that you're seeing in Action Comics or that you're seeing in Detective. Okay. But this is one of the better. This is a great book. Tom King really hit it out of the park with this, and this is definitely something that he's passionate about. And he's introducing 2 new characters in a way that's unique, organic, not forced at all. And it's very emotional. It's very much okay. Like most of us, you know what, have been there in a state where we're hungover the next day, so we can obviously know what Supergirl is going through, and she's able to recover, which is great. You know, and it also is Fable's birthday, so I want to say happy birthday, Fable. Happy birthday, Fable. Station.
Birthday, Fable.
So that's Supergirl. I highly recommend it. Bilquis's world building in this is great, and you're really just seeing why Supergirl is very powerful as a person, as a leader, and just not only as a hero, right? This is not, let's make her the strongest person and show why she's stronger than Clark Kent. But no, this is why Supergirl is a great person that you should be reading about. So definitely make sure you are picking up this book by Tom King. You get Crypto, the best pet in comics. You get Crypto, so there's an added bonus, and you get to, if you like Conan, you like kind of that kind of adventurous story. This is really showing the diversity of Tom King as a writer. in my opinion. So definitely go check that out as well. Make sure you guys comment hashtag Wonder Woman to be entered into the giveaway. Hashtag Wonder Woman. I'm going to be saying that impulsively throughout the show. So just to remind you guys, hashtag Wonder Woman. You can win a signed copy of Wonder Woman 770 by Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad, who are playing hide and seek in the green room right now. So, so yeah, that's Supergirl. I wanted to come out, talk about that book, which is great. And it's been getting a lot of good reception, and I know that there are a lot of people on the fence about Tom King as a writer. But he definitely has that fan base to where it's like, yeah, Tom King puts out a lot of great work. He has that niche of a fan base that writers hope to achieve in their career. So if you are a Tom King fan, you're reading it, right? You're definitely always giving his work a shot. If you're not a Tom King fan, open your eyes up to it, because this is a book this is a Supergirl story that will be seminal in the sense that it will have longing impacts on the character. Because it's being done to her at such a young age, I guess, kind of like she's my age, so who knows? She could be the future Mrs. Feldman. Who knows? That could be kind of cool. I'm still saving myself for Polaris.
Oh my god.
But there's that book, and I would put it on your pull list. I would. Don't wait for this in trade. Don't wait for this in trade, because that'll ruin the chances of getting another story for another character like Supergirl, kind of like in her list, like her class of characters. So you can maybe see an Atom miniseries, like a Ray Palmer miniseries. So that's what DC kind of lacks, is they forget about their heroes.
They are trying to focus on some of their niche characters too, because I saw something today where, you know how they announced the new Deathstroke series?
Oh, I did not see that.
Well, they announced the new Deathstroke series. I don't know who the creative team is, but apparently Black Canary is supposed to play a part in that.
Dude, that's awesome.
Which I'm really excited about, being the DC fanboy that I am and having a lot of these niche characters finally get the spotlight. Like I would love to see Hawkman and Hawkgirl get some love again.
Right. I would love for so Hawkgirl got a lot of love in Scott Snyder's Justice League, so definitely go check that out.
Okay.
I would like to see Green Arrow get a little bit more love. I'd like to see some more of your cosmic heroes in the DC universe get some more love. Some characters that we just drop off the radar.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Tim Drake too. I want to see Tim Drake get some more love.
Then email James Tynion and make sure that he gets put back in a Tim Drake book, because
he will. He's in Nightwing right now, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But
right, you just want to talk about now? Let's get out of the way. Talk about Nightwing.
Well, sure. I was going to talk about a different DC book next, but
we're already there. There.
Anytime is a good time to talk about Nightwing.
Oh, so you just want to talk about Dick? I get it.
It's a family show, Brandon. It's a family show.
Cover your ears, HK wifey. Cover your ears.
More. Hey, whatever.
God bless. Travis has little ears, okay?
Tim Drake is the best. Robin, I don't know. Dick is kind of, I don't know. It's Dick, Tim, and then Damian for me. And then just everyone else sucks.
Damian. I absolutely love Damian. That's probably a hot take for me, where I actually like Damian a little more than Tim. But
oh Lord. Instead of staying stationed, say hashtag Wonder Woman.
Not instead of station, but on top of station.
Are you trying to upset the balance of reality, Brandon?
On top of station, but all right, Nightwing.
So this book is basically the Who is Melinda Zuko issue. And so I am going to go in depth about this a little bit, because there's a big reveal at the end. But if you were going to read Nightwing, chances are you've already read it. So basically, we've got Melinda Zuko getting inaugurated into the mayor's office. And afterwards, she goes into a conference room with Boss Maroney and Blockbuster.
Right.
Who is playing a huge behind-the-scenes role in it. He very much feels like a Kingpin-esque character so far.
Right.
But then we flash to Nightwing taking on the new villain Heartless, which I thought was a really cool battle sequence. It primarily took place in an inferno of sorts, like a huge flame. And we learn more about Heartless, of how he can't be picked up on like Oracle's technology, which could hold true, or lasso, which could do something later. But honestly, the battle sequence is the least eventful part of this book, believe it or not, because their whole thing is they're trying to save these homeless kids. And how does Nightwing do that? He calls in the city of Bloodhaven.
Right.
As only Nightwing could. He got naval ships coming to help these kids because they're on a pier. They're kind of stranded.
Now, this is what I love about Nightwing, right? About Nightwing in this story and as a character is the fact that he has been in the game for so long. He understands what to do. And when most characters would kind of be at like an oh shit kind of moment and freeze, Nightwing just goes out of left field and just does something completely different. You know, even Tim is kind of like surprised. And Tim is supposedly the smartest one, not necessarily the most experienced. So this whole sequence of events right here really goes to say how smart of a character and how much experience goes.
Yeah.
Right. Look at Tom Brady. Now, I know what y'all gonna say. I don't like him either. But look at the way he sees the field versus every other quarterback. It's because he has that experience. I know no one here likes Tom Brady. I don't like him either. But the panels are great, you know, and Dick is really coming out of the panel. Wait, that sounded weird. Nightwing is really coming out of the panel. This is not Batman Damn. Dick is not coming out of the panel.
Oh my god.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, Bruno Redondo's art is just some of the best art in comics right now, in my opinion. Definitely some of the cleanest. And basically, Dick gets a concussion. He's back at his apartment. Him and Tim and Barbara are discussing Melinda Zuko and what they know about her so far, which isn't much.
Right.
And so Nightwing decides he's going to go out of his way to find out more.
Hashtag Wonder Woman. Hashtag Wonder Woman.
And so he breaks into Melinda's apartment, gets attacked, knocked out.
Well, he already had a concussion.
Yeah, gets knocked out because he already had a concussion. Tied up, captured, and unmasked. They know who each other are. But how does Melinda know Dick? Well, allegedly, and I'm not sure how much I buy this, she's his sister.
Allegedly. I mean, I don't know.
I'm not saying Tom Taylor would play us like that, but
I mean,
you work for Blockbuster, you can't be trusted, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, she is a Maroni. I mean, we've seen Batman characters get tied to their villainous counterparts. You know, their villainous family. You know, spoiler with her father. Oh my gosh, what the hell is his name? But you all know his name.
Well, we've seen
he's
this
some
with
bimbo.
We've even Nightwing once before with the Court of Owls.
Yeah, with Talon, we've seen Tommy Elliott, you know, who can be considered kind of a family member to Bruce Wayne because they grew up so close. You can even see it in how Selena Kyle was shaped by her family. You can see it, or lack of her family. You know,
so a lot of people consider Jason Todd a villain,
right? So there are a lot of characters in the DC universe that are really pushed for their family. So I could see this totally being a thing. I could see this totally being a thing, but also I could see it tying onto his mother's side and in that aspect because we know that his father's Talon, but we never really have heard anything about the mother.
I think his grandfather's Talon. I don't know on whose side, but I know it wasn't his dad because his dad
or his grandfather
died.
Right, or they could bring back the Flying Graysons because comics.
Lazarus Pit.
comics are a thing where comics are a thing. Comics are a thing where anything can happen. Oh, and Damien. How can we forget about Damien? His mother is an Al Ghul, who is a big bad fucking villain.
Language.
Okay, Captain America. What'd
you read this week, man? What else you read?
What else did I read, guys? So I've been steadily reading Fantastic Four ever since they came out of Empire, which was a fine event. It was fine. It was great. I liked it. Shut up, everyone else in the chat. I liked it. But
oh man.
Yeah, Brother Joe, I get it. Hashtag Wonder Woman. Guys, just say it, and you get entered into a free giveaway. It's free. I can't throw this in your face enough. It's free. Signed comic. Come on, y'all. It's like I have to spoon feed it. But this is by Dan Slott and RB Silva. This is the Bride of Doom, and there's just a lot of stuff in this book that is great. So Dr. Doom's getting married. Ben Grimm got married. So why not Dr. Doom? Why not he?
Because he's Victor Von Doom?
So he's horny. He can get married.
God bless.
I just love Becky's face right now in the green room.
Magic Lasso gets it.
So he's marrying Victorious, which is creating problems enough because if you have been following this run, Victorious and Johnny Storm kind of had a little relationship going. They had a little friends of benefits. So there's supposed to be like a peace treaty. So every time there's like a marriage in that area, you have to forgive. So there's playing off that rule set for that kingdom. So Mr. Fantastic is invited as a kind of note of peace to be Victor's best man, and the whole Fantastic family is going to be in the wedding, except for the kids, of course. They're left behind. And Ben and Alicia's adopted kids, the Korean Scroll, they're left behind. Franklin and Valerie are left behind. And
parents.
Exactly. As Johnny goes to leave, Johnny is really just not having a day at all because he goes to invite Skye, who came to Earth after Empire, or no, not after Empire, after York before Empire. That I didn't read, but you didn't have to. She goes to leave just because no one cared about her character. She just able to leave, but Johnny's being all butthurt because this is a woman who's out of his life. And he just wants to talk about it on their way there. They land in Latveria, and they're just they're trying to be peaceful as they can, Wow. Wait, we got to start here. We're gonna hold the best. I want all the OG Young Avengers. Yes, thank you.
The Young Avengers book would be great.
I agree. So they're there. There's a carousel in the background. I don't know if you're all hearing that, but it's an ode to joy. But they're there, right? And it's if they could be forgiven after this wedding, that's it. That's it. They could start from a clean slate. So they all have stuff that they have done to Doom. They all have stuff that they've done to Doom that they want to be no grudges, no more grudges. So that's really it. So Johnny's guys, I have something that I want to say. I have something I want to say that I did to do. And they're shut up, Johnny, shut up. I know your butt hurt. But nobody understands that what he's trying to say is that he had sex with his bride-to-be. So that is a big problem. When the ring...
No.
Yeah, and Victorious is getting married to Doom to unite their two kingdoms. Okay, so Doom is expanding Latveria, but also we're seeing... we're seeing Doom being happy for once, or trying to be happy. So at his wedding, he's powerful. He's Dr. Doom. So he invites Namor. He invites Black Panther, who I'm going to get to in a bit. But when he gives the rings to Reed, Invisible Woman, Sue is should we probe it? Should we kind of do something? He's no, this is Doom. And Doom is wow, maybe I should be nice. And so now they're at this understanding that they're not trying to screw each other over for once.
That's it, Johnny. Well, Johnny's not trying to screw Doom.
Well, Johnny screwed him over in another way, but we're getting there.
I can't get over the reverse prima nocta that Johnny's doing over here.
So
he must have watched Braveheart beforehand. It's that's a good idea.
So we see the whole so this reminds me of when Shrek and Fiona got married, and like in Shrek, and like the whole like town goes crazy, and there's like confetti everywhere. So we see Namor and Black Panther share a moment, and Namor's like, I own 70% of the sea. I can be wherever the hell I please. And Black Panther is there as well because he wants to kind of see what this new offering is in Latveria. Yeah. So there's like this non-aggression. So Namor's like, he's like, I'm not scared of Doom. I own 70% of the water. I'm only here for entertainment because I'm Namor and I can do it. So Namor's just being his egotistical. He's being Namor. He's being himself, you know? And so Ben is walking victorious down the aisle, and now Doom gives a speech. He's like, I love you to death. I love you to death. And she's like, and when she's like, I have something to say before she gives her vows, she says, I have been intimate with Johnny Storm. And Namor just starts laughing. Like Black Panther just freezes. The pastor freezes. She starts crying. She's like, I want to be honest and get this away. But Namor just starts belting out laughing, which is hysterical to me.
Oh my gosh.
Now, I told Bryce to read it because I'm like, this is so funny. So Doom just hits him with that.
I didn't get to. Oh my gosh.
So Doom gets gets that look. And she's like, I've entangled myself with one of your greatest enemies. I have been intimate with Johnny Storm. Doom's face is like his jaw drops. Reed yells out, Johnny. Well, like, and it's like the way this panel works is Ben is like, oh shit. Sue is like, oh dear. And between all that, it goes like Reed, Ben, Sue, and then Johnny. And Reed is just like sending his arm to bitch slap him like around, which is great. Which was great.
Oh my god.
Sloppy seconds. And so Doom bombs the whole place. He bombs his own wedding. And now they're all just like, God damn it. So they have to fight. Namor, Black Panther, the Wakandan Guard, and the Fantastic Four all have to team up to fight a pissed off Dr. Doom who got screwed over literally on his wedding day. And it's great.
Oh my gosh.
Now you can pick up this issue and start reading Fantastic Four from there. That's all.
Bobby.
Like oh, Jesus. Whoa, not imagine. Oh my gosh. So, so if that hasn't convinced you to pick up that book enough, I don't know what else will. It was great. You can start reading it from there because all your original characters are there, right? Black Panther is an original character to the Fantastic Four since the Silver Age. Namor appeared in issue 4. You know, Doom has appeared, you know, so all you're really missing is Mole Man, which I think he's underground somewhere right now. But yeah. I'm just here for it because the Inhumans, Marvel's not using the Inhumans because they're just trying to make you forget about them for the time being. Also, they're kind of dead. Thank you, CB Cebulski, for not knowing how to treat your characters and then killing them. Hence, death of Doctor Strange coming. Hence, we had the death of Wolverine. You didn't understand how to use him. Because you didn't want X-Men to sell, so you kill Wolverine. You kill Cyclops. You don't want X-Men to sell. I get it. But now you own them, so they're here.
All you need is Galactus at this point for this issue to just have it all.
Right. But this is like Fantastic Four is in the MCU, and now they can just have full reigns, and Doctor Doom can be Doctor Doom. Right, and this is a great place to jump in. Guys, you can jump in to this book and not having to know anything that happened the past 33 issues, other than Ben and Alicia are married, which they throw in your face every 2 seconds. # Wonder Woman.
God bless.
But that was a fantastic book, guys. And I'm not here to really like nerd out. I try to be as objective as I can, but this book really just shocked me enough to where I have to put it on the show and talk about it. Dan Slott, this is honestly the best Dan Slott issue I've ever read. This is the best Dan Slott issue I've ever read. And I love Dan. I'm hard on Dan Slott. I like Dan Slott, and I'm hard on Dan Slott because I know the potential of Dan Slott. Right? But this is him having fun. This is the Fantastic Four that I wanted from him this whole entire time. And it's great. It's great. Pick it up. Read it. It's great. But yeah.
Not to be
I have a few other books to talk about. I'm not gonna be. I talked for a lot, so Bryce, I just talked for a long time. I know you have a lot of books.
You did, but not to be too too subjective about this next book, but this issue answered some of my prayers that I've had for this series in hopes that it would get better. And it has gotten so much better.
Bryce, I thought you only pray to one person. Oh.
No, I don't pray to the Flash. I'm just secretly praying like the past when 768 and 769 were coming out. I was just praying. It's like,
oh, you pray to Eobard Thawne. Sorry, dude.
Neither confirmed. No, I'm kidding.
I do that too.
This book was just a breath of fresh air in this run. 770 was good. This issue was great, in my opinion.
770. Hashtag Wonder Woman.
No, this is 771. Gosh. Herm, the first couple issues of the new run weren't the best, but this issue is probably the best one since Williamson's run ended.
Really?
I would say, yeah.
Really?
Just like tone and feel, like the first half of this book is drawn and has the feel of a Silver Age book. And I love it. Like it felt like I was reading a version of Flash of Two Worlds.
Right.
So basically, Wally's going through the Speed Force because there's like this surge going on. He wanted to quit, but the Speed Force wasn't done with him yet. And so he's now in Eobard Thawne's body. During the Silver Age time period, applying to the Legion of Doom. And it opens up with the Surge knocking out Superman. Everybody thinks that Eobard Thawne killed Superman. Meanwhile, you've got Barry, Oliver, and Mr. Terrific still trying to figure out what's going on with Wally. You get some great Lex Luthor in this, just being completely flabbergasted. I thought it was hilarious. And then you've got Speed Force Superman, which was really interesting because he basically just looks like Shazam in a Superman costume. But still, they get the Surge out of Superman.
Keep going. I'm just having
the Surge out of Superman. They get, like, Wally fulfills his mission, and then it ends this portion of the book with Lex Luthor just nailing Eobard Thawne in the face as he comes to.
Like nailing like Johnny did to Dr. Doom's wife.
Oh, no joke. Lex Luthor goes to punch Eobard Thawne. Wally knows he's getting ready to leave his body, and he's just like, you know what? Yeah, I deserve this. And then he leaves, and as soon as Eobard comes back, you just see Lex's fist go right into his face.
Oh my gosh! But
and then Superman's just kind of standing there with his arms crossed. Like, what is
right? Until they get to the Wally portion, I'm out of this book. I dropped it. I just don't care at this point what they're doing with the Flash. Because like it's nonsense at this point. It's honestly nonsense. It's nonsense.
Okay. I'm out. This book made me laugh, kind of like almost as much as FF made you laugh. Like, there's one page of this book, no joke. One page of this book is totally devoted to Barry Allen, Oliver Queen, and Mr. Terrific staring at a phone that's ringing, and it's Linda on the other end.
Oh, so no one's picking up.
So, yeah.
No, pick it up. I wouldn't pick that up.
Mr. Terrific picks it up.
Oh, jeez.
Because he doesn't know any better.
They're probably like, no. It's like they could.
Barry's just like, it's your funeral.
Yeah, you're going to Sanctuary.
No joke. They're like, this Mr. Terrific just tries being cool. He's like, this is going on. Like, this is what's going on. We're trying to work. He's like, what? I'm pretty sure violent threats aren't necessary. And then, no joke, the last line on this page is, "We better get Wally back quick or we're all in danger."
And if you guys do want more Mr. Terrific, read Strange Adventures by Tom King. It's great.
That is a book I'm going to get in trade because I missed it at first.
Yeah.
But then we're going to, then throughout the next few pages, it's kind of a montage. You know, Wally's going through Johnny Quick's body. He is in one of the members of the Teen Titans Academy's body. And I want to say in Johnny Quick's body at one point, with Alan Scott's hand making a brief cameo.
Oh, Alan Scott. That's cool because he's going to be in the Infinite Frontier thing. But whatever the hell they're doing with that book, I don't even know it. I don't even know if I care at this point.
Oh, and Stargirl's back. It's Stargirl's back here too. So he's with the JSA. He's with the JSA.
So they have to push what Jeff Johns is doing with Todd Knock because no one even knows.
I think it's just, last issue was Jay Garrick. This issue, there's a little bit, which Jay's in the back of this too. It's right. The JSA. He's with the JSA. And then eventually he ends up back in either his own body or Barry's body at one point. I can't tell based on the suit. I want to say that's Wally in the Barry suit.
I heard Mr. Terrific isn't into women. Last I heard.
And so basically, Barry and Oliver and Mr. Terrific are still figuring it out. They kind of figure out a plan, which is basically give the Speed Force kind of like a jump start, like the Heimlich maneuver of sorts, where there's something lodged in the Speed Force and they're just trying to surge it out.
What is the Speed Force? See, this is what... Okay, look, if you're a Flash fan, I could go find the biggest Flash fan ever. I'll ask you what the Speed Force is, and you don't know. No one in DC Comics knows. Jeff Johns might have an idea.
The Speed Force is whatever it needs to be.
The Speed Force is a scapegoat, and it's almost hilarious at this point that they keep putting this on us and it's like, oh yeah, the Speed Force. No.
But how are you going to explain something like that? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm just getting
the Speed Force is a simple story. Have you ever heard the Tales of Dark Plagueis of Wise?
I'm just getting into something like Doctor Strange. Have they ever fully explained the Dark Dimension?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Go back to Strange Tales 127, 128, and 129. First appearances of Dormammu.
Okay, fair enough. But basically, the end of this issue, the last few pages, is Wally in the body of his son.
Read some of the Marvel premieres that he was in with that Steve Englehart and Roy Thomas did.
Okay, so Silver Age, Bronze Age stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Early Englehart.
But basically, and this is the part where it went from funny to touching, and why I love this issue so much is because it hit me on all cylinders.
Oh, because they said hashtag Wonder Woman, right? And they won themselves some free Wonder Woman comics. Yeah, got it. That's it.
Wally's basically in the body of his son, Jay, sitting across the table at a coffee shop from his daughter, Irie. Both of them have speed powers now, and Irie knows that Wally is inside Jay's body. So they're basically talking, catching each other up.
Well, that's awkward.
About his kids' futures. How is it awkward?
I don't know. It's like if I saw someone in my family as somebody else, I would just feel weird about it.
Yeah, but this is the Flash family we're talking about. Time travel is just part of the job.
Also, messing up the timeline is part of the job.
No, that's Barry. I mean,
that's
I love Barry, but yeah. But basically, we find out that Wally never retires from being a hero. So that's basically teasing the next arc. Irie shows him this like Flash planet of sorts. Some I'm a little confused on, but I'm here for it. I'm always here for something new. And basically at the end, we get to the Sanctuary stuff, which is what the cover teased. And in 2 weeks, we're going to get an annual wrapping this story up of Wally basically going on a Speed Force journey. I really enjoyed this issue. I think this story, ever since 770, I thought 769 was the weakest, but ever since, the past couple of issues, they just kept getting better. And I really feel like this arc could end on a high note and make The Flash a great book again. Make The Flash great again.
It's an elemental source governing speed pretty simple. Yeah, but there's more to it than that.
There is more to it than that, but when you travel at speeds that the Flash can, you're kind of breaking every known natural law. And so the Speed Force really can't go by any sort of laws of nature because its whole deal is the fact that it is outside of it.
Right. But it's also like, we want to say, okay, the Speed Force, it's almost like they're throwing this joke at us for us to keep getting every time, it's like, okay, we get it. And I'm tired of them like kind of using it, but not explaining how it works. They're just adding more stuff to it to spin it to get them out of something, or to spin it to fix something. I'm like,
that's fair.
It's putting a stigma on every single Flash.
I would love to read a book that's like the science of the Speed Force or the history of the Speed Force.
And you know what? If Jeff Johns wants to devote his time to writing because he was the one who introduced it, go for it.
He didn't introduce the Speed Force.
He reinvented it. He reinvented it. He introduced the modern take on the Speed Force.
He made it to where Barry was the one that generated it.
Right. So I want him to kind of figure out how it works because we don't know. I'm sure Dan DiDio has an idea. He's like, I can use it to get out of this shitty thing I put myself into. But fortunately, he's not around to tell us about it. But I do want to give a brief head nod to a book that came out this week called Berserker #3 by Matt Kindt, Keanu Reeves, John Wick, which is this book essentially, and Ron Garney. And this is the most ridiculous book that I've read. It is boring. It is. In my opinion, it's very stupid, and it's very much okay. Blood is cool. Ripping people's heads off is cool. When I'm mad at someone, that's all I want to do sometimes. Trust me, I work and have to deal with people. I know I want to be that guy. But this is a kid with no stakes. There's no downside to this for this guy. It's like you're just killing people and nothing. There's no consequence. There's no story. I'm going to kill you. If I want to kill you, I can kill you. I'm immortal. I can do whatever the fuck I want and not get away with it. Sometimes I can also not use my vowels and get away with it because that's the title.
Sometimes though you need a story like that.
But here's the other thing. It's coming out with a movie and a Netflix series. Keanu Reeves is going to be starring and he's going to be producing it or directing whatever he's doing with it. So you're going to see everything that's in the book. I guarantee you, when this book came out, there was already an adaptation. They just decided, we're just going to announce it right after. This book was made with the intent to show everything. So we're going to see it already on the big screen. With that being said, I'm out. I'm in Shark Tank right now. But depression and immortality are two different things, right? He's depressed, but how will that lead him? Because he's going to live forever. Obviously, he's going to have to deal with it. So in my opinion, there's nothing that's going to... When a human deals with depression, we've all been there. There is a certain state because depression can kill you. It can create a toll. There's no toll in this guy because he's immortal. He can't kill him. I don't want to say he can't kill himself like kids. There's no lasting effect on him. I don't want to say he can't kill himself because that's insensitive because we've all, some of us have been there, myself included. But there's no stakes to his mental state because he's going to live long enough to overcome it to where it could take him 50 years. It could take him 75 years, take him 2 freaking seconds. He's immortal. He's a god. He's like Thor, Conan, and John Wick all in the same body. It's just he's worthy of being.
But then why are all 3 of those characters considered great characters, but this one isn't?
Well, this one isn't because he's immortal, and there's nothing there's nothing that can take that away. Once you become immortal, once you're a god, once you're perfect, and once you're just killing to the point where it's not fun anymore, right? I see a skull in that book. I see blood in that. Oh, it's normal. I can't a page where there's not that is going to be surprising to me, and I don't care at this point. It's boring. I don't care. It's stupid.
Sometimes you need a turn your brain off kind of fun story like that, though, especially where, and I'm going to tease another book we're talking about, when you're getting storytelling like this in other books.
Right, and we're going to save that. I do want to talk about Alien because that's what I did enjoy by Philip Kennedy Johnson's Out of the Rocka.
Sure.
We did give a teaser of that last week. So there's a kind of a new way of thinking about not symbiotes, of xenomorphs in this, right? So as we saw in each of the Alien movies, the xenomorph kind of evolved into something different, and that's what we're seeing more so in this book is the evolution of xenomorphs, and we're kind of seeing the villainy of the Weyland-Yutani. Okay, so Bishop is back. We know Bishop's back, and Bishop is there now. He's acting as a guide. He's acting as kind of like a tourist throughout the station right now, trying to find Gabriel's son, and which is really interesting because their relationship is at like an all-time rift, and they find him with a xenomorph offspring attached to his face. So obviously we've seen the movies and we know that there's really not a whole lot of going back from that. Once you're in the hive, you're fucked, for lack of a better word. So that really opens Gabriel's eyes up enough to where he's like, oh, Jesus, like I needed to do better. So we're seeing that, and we're seeing all the other people that were there. So the two rivals in this story have to unite in order to save his son. And it's like they have to put their beef aside for the time being. We are also diving deep into why the xenomorphs are back and how like the specimen that they obtained, the alpha that they obtained is we're seeing like the queen, right? We're seeing the queen and the one that Gabriel's son was after. This is like we're tying it back to this alpha who is just badass as hell. I've been very outspoken. I've been very spoken on the art and how much I didn't like it, but this issue was great.
Oh, fantastic.
The art in this issue was the best it's been all series. This is every issue we're saying this book is getting better and better and better. There's a lot of action in this book. It was a very great read. There are a lot of twists and turns in this book, which we said last time that as a reader were hidden from us, but we're there. So it's like right in front of me, but it's also hidden at the same time, which is great writing. Like I feel stupid reading this book because I should have seen it coming, which is just great writing from Philip's part. So definitely make sure you guys check this out. This is this fits the tone of the second Alien movie, Aliens, very much. Like the whole climax of the story really fits this narrative. So that's Aliens. And
what I like about this book too is it does fit that tone, but it also has a lot of the hard sci-fi horror vibes that the original had.
Right.
Where leading up to the alpha reveal, you were honestly terrified as to what the alpha would be.
Right. God bless you.
Thank you. But yeah, honestly, this is a fantastic book. I agree with everything Brandon said. And if you're not reading this book, it should be one of Marvel's more popular books, in my opinion.
Oh, I'm sure a lot of people are reading Alien, or a lot of people are still not aware of the book Alien. If you're not aware of it, it's 4 issues. Sure. If you guys don't have an issue, just let me know, and I will be sure to hook you up with one. I'll be sure to direct you in a way where you can find one, because I go to a store that has a lot of them, a lot of aliens, because they order a lot. But hashtag Wonder Woman.
Good Lord.
I'm sorry. People have to know. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure you also like and subscribe. Like and subscribe to the channel. You know, it really does go a long way for you to hit that thumbs up button. Especially if you like what you're seeing, it takes 2 seconds, guys. Hit the thumbs up. It goes a long way. In what is the YouTube algorithm, I suppose. This is our pillar show, so we like to see it succeed, and it's doing great today. But let's get into some X books. Let's get into some X books, then we'll talk about Venom, and then we'll do the giveaway. So
I've got one more book.
Oh, you got one more? Okay, go. Talk about your book.
Speaking of me liking what I'm seeing, Star Wars.
That book was not that great to me. It was fine. It was okay. It was what it should be, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking.
See, this run doesn't have to be groundbreaking though. That's the thing. It's filling the gaps between Empire and Return of the Jedi where we got the groundbreaking stuff. And I don't know, this book is just fun. I look forward to reading this every month. just because of how fun it is, especially with the War of the Bounty Hunter stuff going on. Like, if you're a Star Wars fan, or even if you're not, this is a good run for you to jump into. Just because you get the characters that you love, they feel like the characters, and if you've never seen a Star Wars movie for some reason, first of all, go watch them, but then you can come back to this and still feel like you never left. Feel like you never left the universe or the world or these characters. And basically the whole thing is Han's frozen in carbonite. They know that Millennium Falcon crew knows that Crimson Dawn has them. And they decide they're going to recruit some help to help them get Han back from Crimson Dawn at this criminal auction. And who do they get to help them?
Oh,
Lando Calrissian.
Yeah, but they also make the general from Last Jedi canon. They make a lot of stuff canon. They like tie everything with Solo. Canon. Like canon in comics. I mean canon connecting like the Star Wars expanded universe together. Like this is like the first time we're seeing Solo and the Last Jedi being connected, or like Solo and any other Star Wars film really being connected. So there's that, and it has. This is literally Disney written all over it. We have to connect it. We have to connect it, so we're going to do it this way.
If you remember the earlier issues of the run, when they were doing Operation Starlight and all that,
boom.
Poe Dameron's mom was the head of Operation Starlight.
Poe Dameron is a badass, though.
True, but I want to get a chance to like these characters that I maybe didn't like in the movies. Like, I didn't hate Kira. I just thought she was inconsequential. Admiral Holdo wasn't my favorite. But this is giving people a chance to really get reintroduced to
Stardust.
Is it Stardust? Okay.
Yeah, Stardust.
Yeah. To really get reintroduced to these characters and have them get another chance, which I think they deserve because they could have been great characters.
Right.
It's just the writing and the circumstance. And V, I'm sorry. I enjoyed Solo. I didn't hate Last Jedi as much as I did Rise of Skywalker. But I did not like Last Jedi. I wasn't a fan of Admiral Holdo. But we'll see what happens here. So we know that Lando has other motives in this too. He's going to basically sell out the rebellion to Jabba the Hutt and to the Empire because of how they treated Lobot, which is understandable, justified in my opinion. But
right,
the rebellion obviously doesn't know that. So that's a really interesting side thread that I'm looking forward to seeing come to a head later.
Yeah, and this book is 100% Lando. This is like Lando is being Lando, and this is like, I mean, his book was fine. It was fine. It was a Disney. It was
in V's comment. The Last Jedi. It had some good moments.
You are in these comments. But anyway, yeah, that's Star Wars. You know, it's a tie-in to War of the Bounty Hunters. It's written by Charles Soule, who is the head man of Star Wars for the Marvel Universe right now in the comic book line. He's your Dave Filoni of comics right now, and you have the art. Yeah, head of Star. And the art is by Roman Rosanos.
Yeah.
I believe, if I'm right. I'm not looking at it right now. I'm just going off
Roman Rosanos. But yeah, I loved this book. I just thought it was fine.
It was okay. It was like a Disney agenda, and I'm sorry.
But if it's written like this, I'm cool with it, personally.
No, the last line was cheesy as hell. We're his only hope. Shut up, Leia.
Well, that's a Leia line. They're bringing that line back from...
Carrie Fisher would roll over in her grave thinking about that one.
You sure? I
mean,
callbacks are great.
That would... Bro... Meme century. But anyway, meme century right there. Yeah, so that's Star Wars. The X-Men books this week, one was great. The other two I did not particularly care for. New Mutants didn't do it for me this week. It's by Vita Ayala, and there was a guest artist who did not, I don't think did a great job. It was by Linz, someone Linz. I've never seen their name in comics before. So they're filling in for Rod Rice, who has been doing a phenomenal job on the book. But this is just the New Mutants of the Gala. Not really Alex Linz. Not much happened other than you're dealing with Wolfspan and what she's been going through, and you're kind of furthering the Shadow King plot so subtly because you have to be in the Hellfire Gala. But this book really didn't do it for me.
Yep.
So, and I've been thoroughly reading these X-Men books.
And X-Men right now, like I've started reading Star Wars. Right.
And to be honest, the Hellfire Gala has been great. However, these two I don't want to say tie-ins, but they're side stories. They're side stories, right? Essentially, that's what they are. They're side stories in the Hellfire Gala. So if you want to know what this team is doing, it's all going to play into one. So I would recommend reading it just because you never know what Hickman can do. Obviously, New Mutants was not intended to be like a big part in the Hellfire Gala right now. So that's kind of why I was a little bit lackluster. Vita is a great writer, so I'm excited for what they have to do with finishing up the Shadow King run or arc that they're telling. The other book, which is X-Core by Tini Howard and Fauci. Someone named Fauci. It kind of sounds like Dr. Fauci, but it's Fauci. Dr. Fauci. So this is business meeting after business meeting with Angel and Monet and Multiple Man and Trinery. So they're dealing with their pharmaceuticals and the shipment of it. They're having some issues, especially because it hasn't really been taking like as it's boring. It's like it feels like you're sitting in a business meeting. This book isn't doing it for me. The art was great, but it's just not something that I'm into. It's not something I'm interested in. And I get it. Hickman is like, yeah, we have to explain our pharmaceuticals. We have to talk about the way our drugs work in Krakoa. So I'm reading it for the knowledge, but it's something I don't care for. It's not interesting. It's not compelling enough.
I feel like it could get so much better though. Like you could go with a side effects route where people are taking these drugs and there are some serious side effects that X-Corp has to then deal with.
Right. But Warren is such a good guy. He's not going to deal. He's not going to A, put up with nonsense. B, he's not going to get screwed over. But C, he's also going to like look out for everyone. He's going to stress himself up because that's who Warren is. He's a good person at heart. I do like
the pairing of Warren and Monet.
Right. Because
Monet isn't like that.
Monet is is more of the business minded of, oh, screw it. I'm at the top of my profession. Warren is like, I'm more of like a Dick Grayson and like I'm just gonna buy pizza for the homeless because I have the money for it.
Yeah. My whole thing with this book is it's boring for 28 pages, but then like the last 4 or 5 pages, it gets really interesting.
Oh yeah, he comes back as Archangel.
It makes me want to pick up the next issue.
Yeah, he comes back as Archangel. I'm like, that is my favorite era of the 90s was when he became X Factor. Or when he not X Factor. In X Factor when he became Archangel. Sorry about that. So maybe we could see some Apocalypse coming down the road, even though he's in Araco, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. Which we can. Yeah, exactly. Buy pizza for the homeless. Go to
Marvin George's.
Yeah, go to Marvin George's and you can get your pizza. It sounds awesome. I loved that. Planet Size X-Men. This is the premiere issue of Jerry Dugan and Pepe Larraz's kind of tenure. This is a one-shot, so you're going to get a new number 1 soon.
Marta Gracia, good Lord.
Marta Gracia's colors are fantastic. The whole premise of the story comes down to a nutshell. We're wrapping up what was left for Ten of Swords. The only thing they haven't talked about was what are we doing with Araco. That is yet to be explained. Bryce, you look like Dean from the Community tonight.
Yes.
And Bryce is happy. You just made his night. But if you guys, like I said, if you guys are new, because I'm seeing new people pop into the chat, comment, #WonderWoman. You could be one of 3 people to win. Look at this. Look at the wide. Look at the wide.
Michael, man, I always thought I looked more like a Jeff and Abed hybrid, but I will take the Dean any day of the week.
Right. So in this story, all of the Omega level mutants, most of them, all the good ones, all the cool ones, are are trying to deal with Arakko, headed by Magneto, who is actually, this is every single Omega mutant. This is all of them, with the exception of Franklin, because Franklin is quote unquote not a mutant anymore. There's a bee like floating around my light right there, and it's actually annoying because it's huge. Huh. But hey, Sparks is here. Whoa, Sparks! Comment hashtag Wonder Woman, guys. It's a free giveaway. What is wrong with you people? Comment hashtag Wonder Woman. Stay to the end. You can win a copy.
Magic lasso, you'd like to know, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, that bee's freaking pissing me off. I just noticed. Now my ADHD's gonna like go to it the whole time. So we're meeting. Magneto meets with Iska, and they're kind of laying down the foundations of what they want, right? And Magneto formulates a plan. So all the Omega level mutants, is where they come into play, because they need more drugs. They need more of this, and you are getting they need more drugs. Yeah, they need more drugs. But Arakan mutants have been popping up, so they can't have that because they don't know how to act in society. So they combine their forces together to create Arakko as a planet. So Arakko is a planet now, where there is a gate to Arakko, just like there's a gate to Otherworld, there's a gate now to Arakko. And that is where the Arakan mutants can now live peacefully. Magneto sets up a sword station, so Abigail Brand is going to be very happy.
Which, can I just say, if Sword is ending, because I haven't heard anything for sure from Marvel about that.
Steven, you're entered. Boom. Steven, hashtag Wonder Woman. Good job.
It would make me feel so bad because they just add another sword station, and that book has just gotten tied down by event after event after event, and they could tell such a great story, especially after this.
Oh yeah, Al Ewing is honestly, Al Ewing is one of the better writers in comic books right now. I love Al Ewing, and I think that Al Ewing is very underappreciated. I don't need to tell you how great Al Ewing is because he's built that fan base to where if you do like Al Ewing, you're reading him out the butt. Sword wasn't in the solicitation, so
there's nothing solicited past issue 7.
So I did have a conversation with the artist who will be leaving the book after this. So I assumed, and also because Al Ewing is doing other shit now, that book is ending. So,
which that makes me so sad. But we'll know for sure in a couple of months if it comes around and either Sword's taking a month off like every other book did a while back, or.
Right.
Or it's ending. We'll find out for sure in a couple of months when it's supposed to come out.
Right. What I loved about this is Jean got Captain Avalon. So not Captain Avalon, got Jamie Braddock to birth the sword station, to alter the reality. So they combined all their powers together, all of their amazing mutant powers together. So it's like, wow, this is a great team of mutants. This is like the most powerful team of mutants in this book right now. So this
literally gave birth. Like that was
right. So Arakko is the first mutant world. It is the first appearance of it. First appearance of the world of Arakko, guys. But
man,
the X-Men go to the world of Arakko, and it just looks gorgeous. The layouts are fantastic. Pepe Larraz drew out the butt for this. So if you want to know why Pepe Larraz has just been doing covers, this is why.
This is essentially House of X for Arakko.
Right.
Oh, what cover is that, Fable?
Is that the Storm variant? Oh, that is the... Okay, that's awesome. That's
Pepe
awesome.
Larraz.
Old Wolf.
That is nice.
Old Wolf, comment hashtag Wonder Woman, and you will be entered.
Dude, this issue, it wasn't my favorite read of the week, but it was the most epic read of the week.
Mine was Fantastic Four. Also, we will get to another story that when we bring Michael and Becky out after we talk about this book, which I think we have to talk about. I wouldn't be doing this run just if I did not talk about Venom 200. So yeah, Venom 200. It's a lot of artists on this. This is so kind of like how ASM had like their 50th issue. Old Wolf is entered into the giveaway. Boom. We are getting now all of this in one with Donny Cates' segment saying their final words on Venom, which it may not be their final words. The way that they left this was so weird. Because I'm like, they're like leaving the door open. Like, if I have something more to say, I will do it. Or if I have something left to do in another book, and I can use Venom.
Unless they're in contact with Al Ewing and Rom V, and it's leading directly into what they're doing.
Right. So we are seeing the consequences to Eddie being now taking up Null's powers. Null could do it because he was Null. Eddie, this is aging him up and making him making his body a little bit more flimsy, a little bit older. Okay, so we are also seeing like the consequences this is having on Dylan. Okay, Dylan Brock. So for Dylan, it is kind of like his dad is there, but he's not there. He's present in the house, but because Eddie can look into the universe and see everything, he knows everything. So he can be talking to the Avengers. He can be talking to this. He can be here, there, everywhere. Come on, guys. Only 15 thumbs up. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit it.
Thanks, Old Wolf. Also, love the profile pic, especially with what Deadman's been up to recently.
We will be talking about that. Deadman has been making his little cameos. But yeah, this book has a lot of great moments. We are introducing the next plot, which is the Reed Richards from the alternate dimension. And he went back.
The Maker, right?
The Maker, yes.
Okay.
And he actually went back into the Ultimate Universe. So that is very great that the Ultimate Universe can be back in comics. I'm not saying it is, but we're also seeing what Venom will be up to going into his next thing. He separated himself from the symbiote, which blends in with Dylan. We see that whole sequence. And their relationships start. So that's the origin of how they merge together. And this is just great. This book is great. It's a great farewell issue, but it's also extending the narrative for Al Ewing to easily pick this up. Okay. So it's very much like Jason Aaron handing the torch to Donny Cates and Thor. So we're seeing Flash. So Eddie is telling this whole thing to the Avengers. They're like, well, who's back? And he's like, well, I'm at lunch with Peter right now, and he's snatching my fry, and he smacks his head away. So we see that, and it's funny because we saw that happen in the previous early in the story, and we see that Flash will be like the new member of the Avengers, to like be the spokesperson for the symbiotes, which is really cool, and how they are going to deal with the Maker. We're seeing so Flash is back, so that's cool. So that is going to be something that Philip Kennedy Johnson will talk about in this whole new Carnage stuff that is yet to do, that is going to be coming to the shelves. So this book comes like, and it's just looking back at this run, this is just the best character study we've ever had for Eddie and Dylan, because Dylan is a newer character, and we're seeing his relationship with his father, which is great. And we're seeing that bond come full circle within this issue, right? Because they are a team now. They are like father and son, which is great. And if you're reading this book, you already know what's going on, so I don't need to spoon feed it to you. But what it tells going forward is it's opening many avenues for Al Ewing to go and where he plans to. He's doing stuff with the Maker, which makes me very excited, because Al Ewing was one of the kickoff people for the Ultimate Universe with Hickman and Bendis and Millar. Al Ewing was one of the forerunners. And Brian Hitch. So it's like great that you have the team back together almost. So
plus
that's
to add a little bit of darker tone to it.
Exactly. So it's very fitting, and the whole Reed Richards, the alternate Reed Richards with the Council Reeds that they're introducing is very much Al Ewing's alleyway, because he's a great sci-fi writer. He's great at bringing world dimensions together. So I'm excited for it. And I think it's definitely extending the narrative, and it's bringing more stakes to the character and to the universe. So guys, you have nothing to worry about with Al Ewing's run. I'm gonna be very excited for that. But we have some people to bring in. They've been in the green room since the show, so they've been very patient. I welcome everybody.
Thank you guys.
If you guys did not check out Creators Corner, now you have a chance to meet Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad.
Welcome back, guys.
Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Show. Hanging out with Kat.
Yeah, hanging out with.
Oh, we got the show stealer making an appearance.
First appearance on the channel.
There we go.
But
debut.
Yeah, this is Mr. Man's first appearance on Comics Kings.
There we go. And wow. And thank you guys so much for being back and doing this giveaway. It is fantastic that we're able to do this. and I'm really appreciative. That's really what it's about, getting these books in people's hands.
Yeah, and we had such a good time last time talking with you and Bryce that we just wanted to kind of create an opportunity for people that enjoy the content that you make to enjoy some of the content that we make.
Yeah,
so
and
thanks
been,
exactly
for partnering with us.
There's been like no cons and stuff. We haven't had much opportunity to like sign books for people, and this is kind of a fun way to do that.
There you go, and if you guys are going to be in Baltimore Comic-Con, you can meet Becky and Michael because they'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
I won't get to be there. My projects and homework and stuff really amps up around October.
Well, Bryce, no Brian Michael Bendis for you. No Walt Simonson. No Mark Waid. No Cliff Chang and no Brian K. Vaughn.
No Cliff Chang and Brian K. Vaughn. That just it breaks my heart, especially with how much I love Saga and Paper Girls too.
Well, you're studying to be an engineer, right?
Yeah, and you're putting school before comics.
What is it, Michael?
You can't blow that off. We need good engineers in the world. You make things happen. I don't even know what type of engineering you're going to be doing, so I'm not going to assume that you're doing good things. You might be doing some terrible engineering.
You could be building next to Racco, bro.
It's mechanical, so I'm basically studying to become Tony Stark.
Well, I mean, do it right. Don't stay away from drinking.
Yeah.
Stay away from Ultron.
Stark famously said, "With great power comes great responsibility."
That is exactly what Tony Stark said.
Always says it.
That's
Tony Stark. Oh, yeah.
Bryce, no Ultron.
No Ultron.
No Ultron.
I mean, that
same way.
would be pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Last time we were on the show, I had kind of mentioned, yes, we want you all reading Wonder Woman, and this past week I had a story in Superman Red and Blue, which I'm pretty proud of. I think, when's this come out?
Next week? Comes out next week, and next week we've got
Becky's got a story
Wonder Woman
in
Black and Gold.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, there you
go. Additionally, we've got Midnighter backups in Action Comics, which comes out next week. So if you're into that kind of thing, check that out.
Right.
But I really wanted to take the opportunity on your show to kind of just talk about maybe a book that some of your viewers haven't checked out yet that I've loved for a very long time and is a super critical part of my comics DNA. So I've prepared a little dissertation for you here today.
Dude, let's do it.
There we go.
Let's do it. Let's give the people they want. Come on, guys, stick around. This will be great.
I don't know if it's what the people want, but it's what the people are going to get. And what they're going to get.
What these people want.
Yeah. I don't know if everyone out there has ever read this book. It's called Black Hole.
Everyone's read it.
Everyone, has anyone present?
I've never heard of it, but it looks and sounds very interesting.
It's a chunky one.
You're disappointing me.
Old Wolf, is there a test?
Well, this isn't your typical superhero fare. In fact, it's not superhero at all, and it's it's something a bit different. But I think for me, it was super it was a huge game changing book. I love it. It's Black Hole by Charles Burns, and what it is it's a story about a sexually transmitted disease that when you get it maybe it's alien in nature or something like that. When you get it, something about you changes. Usually it's a very clear physical thing changes. One of the boys that ends up contracting the disease ends up having a dog head as a result of it.
Oh wow.
And it's about these kids in this town and their kind of relationship with this disease that's kind of working its way through their community, and how this thing is spreading and how different people cope with it, and how some people kind of like it and other people really marginalize folks that have this disease. I read it when I was young, and this isn't too revealing to say. It was probably around the time when I first started becoming sexually active myself. And I'm old enough that when I first started getting out there in the world, the AIDS virus, HIV was like a huge, terrifying thing in my life, and this book kind of had like a great symbolic value of my relationship with this potential disease. Either way, it's like I made it sound pretty heavy, and there's heavy elements to it.
Just like the weight of the book.
The weight of the book itself is pretty heavy too.
There we go. It's like a textbook, which we all do love a good read. We all do love a good chunky book to keep us away from our normal lives.
Yeah, and the art is beautiful. It's black and white.
Oh wow, that's great.
Beautifully rendered.
And that's several trips to the toilet for anyone else who does that, which everyone does.
It could be a single trip. It's just you'd be in there for quite.
Only if you have Taco Bell.
The art style. Now the story's nothing like it, but the art style in that book kind of reminds me of Have you ever read a book called Blankets?
Yeah, Craig Thompson.
Yeah. That's a lovely book.
Great book.
Becky is on it, bro. Becky is on it.
I took a comics class as a humanities credit last semester, and that was one of the books I had us read. I'd never heard of it, but the story and the art style were just phenomenal. And it was in black and white and had a similar kind of trippy layout at times.
Also, I do want to point out, if you guys do have a question for Becky and Michael about Wonder Woman or this incredible bizarro story that Michael completely popped off on, make sure you guys ask it below. Or you can also go watch Creator's Corner, which was fantastic. I'm sure that one of the moderators in the chat can post that below. But Becky and Michael, I do want to ask you guys a question. For all of the newer readers here for Wonder Woman, what is something that would get them on the book? Like, if you were to pitch it to them again, what would you say to get them to read it?
I think I say this pretty often, but sometimes when something's true, it bears repeating a number of times. And we're hoping to tell the kind of story that really does a service to the 80 years of history that Diana has in comics, while also creating like an opening for people who haven't had 80 years of reading her material to kind of grow off of. So if you're a fan of, Wonder Woman in film, or if you're a fan of Wonder Woman in cartoons, or just the idea of Wonder Woman, we're hoping to kind of distill the essence of this super important, one of the most important characters of all time in comics. Yeah. We're trying to create something that's of service to whatever kind of vision you have of what Diana represents and what she means to you. We're trying to give you something that feels familiar. At the same time, we do as creators have an interest in creating a new chapter in her story, and that's kind of like, that's the power of myth. Is everyone that back in the days of oral tradition, myths were passed on around a campfire, and every time somebody would tell their version, let me tell you about this guy named Thor and what Thor did, it would change a little bit, and it would kind of reflect the nature of what was going on in the world at that time. So I think the version of Wonder Woman that we're doing is a bit more contemporary, and hopefully it doesn't feel like a stodgy old weird read to people. Hopefully,
a little weird.
No,
the good kind of weird.
Yeah,
it's good. It's great, and we've been saying this a lot on over our weekly wrap-up videos. This is the run to start on if you're new to the character. This is a run where, if in a trade paperback when it gets released, is one that you should pick up. It'll be a great read. It'll be phenomenal. This is a very out-of-pocket story, which is also working. You're getting a lot of working parts, just like Dr. Psycho, and you're getting a lot of Deadman characters that we have not seen for
it's going to be a big trade.
Yeah,
I've already seen the trade listed on like Amazon or something. It's a 9-part story, so it's been really interesting seeing people say like, "Oh, that was 773 was a great wrap up to the first story arc." It's like, man, we aren't even halfway. We're less than halfway done with our. I didn't realize how bold we were being by having our first story arc be 9 issues, but Damn it, we did it.
Yeah.
You're doing it.
You're doing
it. It's called Afterworlds, and it's plural for a reason. So we have Valhalla was just like the kickoff.
There'll be some interesting stuff.
Yeah, we've got
sure.
a lot of writers and books nowadays. It feels like they plot their stories out for the trade because they know that's how a lot of people read it.
Yeah,
so I like the fact that you guys are doing a sort of a weird number, like a 9-issue story arc, where it just kind of.
A lot of that was because we had to coordinate with the other things going on with DC. So when we knew the timeline, we had like a certain number of months, and then for 2 or 3 months there was like double shipping. So then it's like we have to plan for that, and then
the next Wonder Woman, I think it comes out this coming week too.
Are you serious?
I think it comes out on the 23rd.
That's
bonkers. So that'll be on the
horizon. Oh, that's my birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday!
Oh, happy early birthday!
Thank you.
Becky's turning 23 on the 23rd. It's her golden birthday. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, I started counting backwards after a certain point.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, I think that I don't know if anyone else had any questions. I tend to talk long. I saw Magic Lasso pop up. I also saw somebody mention Tremor Dose, which is a graphic novel that I've got on Comixology that I encourage people to check out. If you don't like reading things on a digital device, then in November it'll be out in print form from Dark Horse Comics. So we got that coming.
Right. Fable. So without further ado, let's run the giveaway. We have a lot of people in here. Last call. If you have not commented, #Wonder Woman. While we get the wheel up, let's get it going. Let's get this giveaway going. There will be 3 winners. 3 winners.
This is so exciting.
I know.
3 winners. Fable, let's get it up. Share your screen so I can.
So this is the cutoff right here, right?
All right, cutoff.
This is the cutoff.
4.
Cutoff.
3, 2, 1. Cutoff.
Cutoff. Share your screen.
Over.
Giveaway's over. Share your screen and it will pop up. Wow, someone's car is rolling. Oh, we got John hitting the cutoff. Wow, someone's
literally hit the cutoff.
John Stout. Yep, hitting the cutoff.
All right. So we got everybody. All right, so we're going to spin it 3 times. We're going to get 3 winners. All right, let's go with the first one.
Look at that thing spin. Wow.
I like these odds.
I love how it's frozen.
Hey, it'll come up with somebody.
And it is
Lirio Castro.
Let me get a pen to write on.
Hey, there we go. Congrats,
Lirio Castro.
He's still in here?
Lirio, if you are here, let us know where you are. Let us know where you are. If you are still in the chat.
If you left the chat, you get nothing and you're left with nothing.
Lirio, let us know.
Lirio's still here. Okay, Lirio
win.
Congratulations.
DM me or Brandon with your shipping address on Instagram.
Oh, I've sent him books before. I have it, but he can text me anyway.
You have sent him books before. Cool.
I apologize in advance if there's cat hair in the bag.
All right, let's roll it again.
Wheels rigged.
I'm taking out. I just removed Lirio, and we're gonna roll again. Here we go.
Boom.
Alrighty. Yeah, can't have Lirio winning all 3 copies.
Round she goes.
All right.
Stephen M.
Stephen M. Are you here? Stephen M. Are you in the chat? Let us know. Let us know if you are here. You're in it to win it, or you could be in it to win it, or you're out of it, but you won it. Let us know.
Have you sent him books before, or does he need to DM us?
He would have to DM us.
Okay. So yeah, my IG is.
He's here. He's here. Boom! I like it.
Steven is in the house.
Steven,
my IG is Hillbilly Comics. Brandon is at Comics Kings. Just DM one of us or both of us if you really want to ensure a quick response, and we'll make sure we get it out to you.
Exactly. So make sure you do DM us. All right, we got one more winner. This is for all the marbles.
Here we go, y'all.
V said something. Did we miss Sheena? Because I'd seen Sheena enter earlier.
Did we miss Sheena? Add Sheena to it.
Fable.
Fable won.
Yay!
No,
That worked. How exciting! It's almost like
Fable. Fable. I
we
think we missed
definitely
Sheena.
did.
I think we missed Sheena. So put in Sheena real quick.
That's not fair to Fable,
Okay.
but it's also not fair to Sheena.
No, it's all good. It's all
You know
good.
what?
Let's get Sheena up in here. She's such a good supporter of the community. She deserves
Fable,
a chance at this book.
Fable, I'll personally give you something. I will personally give you a birthday gift.
Thank you, brother.
And Dan, yeah, we know you're late because the wheel's already spinning.
Wheels already
There will be another one down the line.
Fable, we got you on a copy.
All right, Sheena is added.
About that.
Oh, thank you so much.
Sorry about that, Sheena.
Yeah, that's my fault, Sheena. I missed out. I'm sorry. I got everybody but
We
you.
got
Anyway,
last
she's
one.
in it. She's in it, and let's go.
All right, so Fable,
I feel like we should just give it to her at this point because she is honestly amazing, and the fact that we skipped her, I feel like we owe it to her. Yeah, do y'all agree? Like,
do we agree? Are we in agreement? We can give it to Sheena.
That seems to be the way because her odds got diminished by like 200%.
Okay.
I'm doing the math right.
oh yeah, that's true.
All right, so the winner is gonna be Sheena. Is gonna be Sheena.
Woo!
Sheena,
She gets the
boom.
VIP award.
Yeah.
She does. She is a VIP.
She
Honestly,
is a VIP.
She is awesome.
She is the most adorable person in the community. She's
Brandon,
the most.
I'm gonna ask you to hit me with, or Fable, or somebody hit me with Fable's address. We'll make sure that we get one sent out to you. Happy birthday,
Oh,
bud! Thank you for
so
taking
much.
time out on your special day to come be with us and to.
Oh man,
and to
this is like a gift to me, man, to be with you guys.
Yeah, man.
This is awesome, man.
Dude, and speaking of gifts, happy birthday, Bizarro. Was a book that Michael Conrad did.
I didn't think that I was much of a birthday person until recently. I think about people's birthdays a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Michael, you brought us a book. We all have a book for you. And
did.
Becky.
Great. Yeah.
Fable, tag, you're it. You're first. Deal with it.
Oh, okay. So the book that I think that is everybody's talking about Nightwing, right? And for good reason. Nightwing has a great story arc going on right now, great artist, great writer. But on the Marvel side of things, I think there's a book that's really comparable to it in terms of all of that, the art, the writing, but for some reason nobody's on it. I mean, I think some people jumped on it lately, but for the while nobody was talking about it. And that book is Black Widow.
I don't hear anybody talking about that book.
Oh, it's great.
Okay. Elena Casagrande's artwork in here, I've never heard of her before this book. Her artwork is up on that level of Joelle Jones and Bruno Redondo over there at Nightwing. And this is like Kelly's best stuff that I've ever read her. Like, I've only been collecting 2.5 years, so you can't take my word for it, but I read her Captain Marvel. I read there's something else that she writes that I read. But
she did Deadpool, didn't she?
Deadpool. She did Deadpool. She did Jessica Jones. Fantastic.
There you go. This is the next level. This is her leveling up on everybody. And I wish more people read this. I mean, when you get to the 3rd or 4th issue of this series, if your jaw doesn't drop to the floor, then I don't know what to tell you, man. This thing is fantastic. So a book that I'd like to highlight, Black Widow by Kelly Thompson and Elena Casagrande, man. This thing is awesome. It's just as good as Nightwing, I'm telling you.
How many issues is that up to so far? Because I've been seeing the first trade getting promoted.
It's up to 7.
7?
It's up to 7, but number 6 introduced a new character. So when that happened, I mean, this thing started disappearing. It's just like Nightwing, but less printed, so it's going even faster. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Right. Her Hawkeye. Okay, yeah, she did Hawkeye as well.
Okay. But yeah, I'll try to. I'll definitely read that first trade and then see if I can track it down.
I'm gonna just say this: Me and Big Herm have talked about this in the past. Big Herm is one of the Bad Batch guys. Love that guy. Everybody's gunning for Kate's on ASM. After reading that, man, I wouldn't mind to see Kelly Thompson on ASM.
Oh, we were just talking about that. I just said that to Bryce.
We were talking about that earlier.
Just said that. I would love that. Bryce, you have a book for us.
I do, and you can ask Brandon. This is a book I have not shut up about since I read it.
Oh my God, you're like me talking.
Dude, honestly, I could gush about this book all day. And
like Dr. Doom can gush over his wife that he tried to blow up. Yeah.
One of the most underrated books from one of the most underrated Marvel characters, in my opinion, and that is Daredevil Yellow by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale.
Becky is impressed.
I know Becky's a huge Tim Sale fan.
Love it. And Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale together, they're like the perfect.
Oh yeah,
such a good team.
Jeff Loeb can be a bit divisive now, but during like the late 90s and early 2000s when this came out, he was at the top of his game.
I think so, like some writers and some artists just like vibe really well together. They work really well. Like some artists, can just see the vision of the script, and those two as a team are like just unstoppable. They're so good together.
For sure. And this is just, for those of you who haven't read it, because I know diehard Daredevil fans that haven't read this book,
me included.
Read this book. It's so good.
It's basically a love letter to the early days of Daredevil. And it's really more about Matt Murdock discovering himself or rediscovering himself and just kind of learning to cope with the loss of seemingly the love of his life at this time. And honestly, it's a fun book. It's a touching book.
Wait, so which love is his life? He's like had 20,000.
At this time,
I want to do a Marvel body count. I want all of the heroes like Doctor Strange, Tony Stark, Matt Murdock to do a body count. I just want to know. I just want to know.
Oh man. During this time it was Karen Page.
Okay.
It was Karen Page.
You gotta read this book.
Honestly, at a certain point in this book, I started looking at Karen the same way Matt did, just because of how Loeb was able to write.
Wait, so he looked at Karen Page.
It's an analogy, Brandon. It's an analogy. I'm saying the writing in this almost made me feel a love for Karen's character and understand where Matt was coming from.
So we got
a little bit deeper than a surface level. And yeah, this is part of a series. So you've got Daredevil Yellow,
Blue too.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Blue, Hulk Gray, and Captain America White.
Right.
So yeah, they're all like 6-issue miniseries. I will say, if you have Marvel Unlimited, that's probably the most accessible way to read this because this trade is out of print. Unfortunately, I wish they would put it back in print, but
Marvel won't do that.
Marvel won't do that.
Well, that's the one thing that Marvel doesn't do is with their headline stories, they don't reprint them. Like they're not like when you go to a comic shop and you want a seminal Batman, they have them all. They're all in. There's never a time where you're gonna find a Long Halloween out of print. There's never gonna be a time where you're gonna see Court of Owls or Crisis on Infinite Earths or Man and Superman or Superman A Hero Tomorrow or any.
Superman for all seasons.
For all seasons, or Wonder Woman Year One, or soon enough when Volume 1 comes out.
Exactly.
I love Marvel so much. Like I grew up reading Marvel comics,
right?
But like DC really, they have such a great trade program.
Yeah.
Like, so they keep their books in print. It's like you can get any of them at any time.
Right.
I wish Marvel would really step up and do the same.
Right.
Some of these books just deserve to be read. Like it's a classic, It
right.
Just,
and the way they do their Spider-Man books, they do their Spider-Man books is ass backwards. Because like they tell 20 years at a time, and no one's going to read 20 years at a time, and they're skipping over half of them anyway. There's no reason why Kraven's Last Hunt is still out of print and colored like the way it was recolored. They need to do a recoloring, and it's ridiculous.
Daredevil is probably one of Marvel's worst characters when it comes to. Yeah.
Right. Becky, what were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying like Dr. Doom's Triumph and Torment is like another one that's just so good. It's
right.
Mike Mignola drew it.
Right. Or anything Chris Claremont did with the X-Men.
Yeah.
Can't find it in a trade. Or anything John Byrne did with Fantastic Four. You can't find Miller's Daredevil. You can only find an omnibus. They try to push their
also-
omnibus program so much that they forget, except their omnibus are low printed anyway. So it's DC's where it's at when you want to get trades. However, this is a trade that you could probably find because no one knows about it, or the fact that this is the most seminal work that I'm presenting is Inhumans by Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee. This is a little thick, she's thick right here. But if you want an Inhuman story that is very modern, or it's renovating the modern Inhumans. Okay, it's introducing your modern Inhumans, and it's like all your plots and twists. The art is it's very dark. The tone is very dark, but the art really stands out, and each character really has their own moments. And you just see Black Bolt. It's everything I love about Black Bolt. He's just building and building and building. And we were talking about creative teams earlier, with Tim Sale and Jeff Loeb. Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee had a great duo, the dynamic between the two of them. And if you guys wanted to get into the Humans, or you wanted to get into the show and you just didn't, read this book and it'll get you into the Humans. 100%.
Becky, did you have a book or?
I do, and it's nothing. It's manga, which is fine.
Ooh.
But
So
I'm
I've been
bringing
looking
out
for
an
something
old one called Mason
Nice.
Cuckoo. They just put out Viz put out this great new trade recently, and it's like the first probably 2 or 3 volumes together. It's like a drama comedy, like it's kind of slapsticky, full of heart. It's a bit ridiculous, but if you're a fan of Fumika Takahashi and like
And
the series,
who isn't?
Yeah.
Like who's not a fan of
Ram No One Half or like Inuyasha, like she's just the top of the pyramid
Right.
when it comes to comics. And I grew up like I was very young when I started reading Ram No One Half, and I followed up with Mason and Cuckoo right after that. And this is such like a slice of life, like little, but it leaves such a lasting impression. So
Right.
if you're into something that's like it's a quick read,
I think with both Becky and I, we love comic books so much that we find ourselves like seeking out stuff that shows like different things that
like look at that turtleneck. That's great.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That almost kind of looks like the dude that Violet started going out with at the end of The Incredibles.
But as I was saying before, Becky showed you the turtleneck. We kind of seek stuff that shows like different things that the medium is capable of. I think it's always so tempting when you're working on comics to do the thing where it's like, oh, I've got an unlimited special effects budget, and to like blow it up and go as bombastic and wild as you can. Sometimes with like Mason and Cuckoo and with Black Hole, like these are books where it's showing that you can also tell kind of a small, weird little story that's very much centered on characterization and kind of decompressing a story and allowing it to unfold. And for us, for me, certainly, it makes me really appreciate when I do pick up, the superhero comics that I love so much, and love like how just like wild superhero, like it's so weird that superheroes are synonymous with comic books, and it's really interesting seeing how they're crossing over and like technology has caught up. So now like there's people that are huge Marvel fans that have never picked up a comic in their life, and for me it's just bizarre. But I think like the movies and TV shows are awesome, but it's never quite gonna grab me the same way that comic books do. And
Right.
part of that is because of the special language of comic books, and to be able to master the language of comic books, I really encourage everyone out there to like. And you don't gotta buy the stuff. You can get this from your library.
Libraries will have them.
Go check it out from the library. Try some different things. Expand your horizons. It'll make you'll still love your superheroes. Your pull list will be strong, and hopefully like Wonder Woman will be on there or whatever.
Another thing too that DC's been doing that's really cool. If you have someone who's young in your life who doesn't read comics and they might want to.
I knew where you were going.
DC does a lot of, and I don't want to sound like I'm just shilling out for DC right now, but they have such a great. We're talking about their trade program. They're doing these great YA books of all their characters that are just like standalone stories, and they're super fun and full of heart and great for like young adults, teens. Like if there's someone who you want to get hooked on comics young, that's a good way to. Manga is great too.
Yeah.
Manga is great too.
Manga's great too.
I've been meaning to get into manga, and I have a lot of friends that are manga fans, and I've been thinking about giving it a shot. So
right. I also.
It's a death spiral.
Yeah,
you
you're
gotta
gonna
you gotta be
have
real
shelf
careful.
I even need a new shelf now. I need to buy another bookshelf. Which,
yeah, my suggestion is check out something that is kind of like a one and done. Yeah, read Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, so
yeah,
that's a long.
So this is V. She's in New Zealand and she made it all the way here.
Awesome.
So I do want to give a shout out to all of the women in the chat. You know, we had Sheena, we had Kelly, we had V, we had Maria, and we had a few others like in and out the chat that I know Sheena and V are in my chat a lot, but they're all here for you guys. You know, you guys do a lot. And Becky, you do a lot for women in comics, you know. And it's very cool to see like that empowerment in the exploding in the chat. As it's like that's really cool to see, and it's great that we're able to have that here with us tonight.
Speaking of powerful women, my wife just informed me that my birthday dinner is done.
Yeah.
So I have to go. I have to go eat or you know bad things can happen.
We're gonna send you a comic book. Brandon and Bryce, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah.
Fable, happy birthday, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
And yeah, everyone, make sure you guys are reading Wonder Woman. Make sure if you guys are catching the replay, you give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Follow Becky and Michael at all their links. Everyone's links is in the description below, so you can just click and you got it. Boom. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to Weekly Wrap Up. This was the most successful episode we've ever had. So thank you guys so much for that. Not because it was a giveaway, also because you guys stayed for the whole conversation while we were just talking about books.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
Pleasure. Happy birthday, Sable.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah, Fable,
happy birthday,
guys. You guys are awesome.
Enjoy your birthday dinner with your powerful wife.
I mean, I couldn't end the day any better, right? Like, I mean, I talked to Michael and Becky. I'm on the show with my good friends Bryson and Brandon. I got all my peoples in the chat. It's just been a crazy day, man. It's awesome. You guys are the greatest. Thank you for having me on. And thanks for the book, man. I'm going to cherish that because, like I said, I just got on the bandwagon, so I'm there with you, man.
Welcome to the cult.
Yeah,
right.
Welcome to the kingdom, Fable. All right, you guys, we are out.
See you guys. Thank y'all.